All right, and we're back. Second iteration of the tier list leading up to the season. Today we've got running backs. Last week we had the quarterback tier rankings. Mitch Trubisky was voted by our esteemed colleagues and our fans as the number one quarterback in the league. But
And then played the best out of any of them.
yeah. So I mean, the list is just it's a little bit different this week. But kind of the same concept. You've got your elite guys, but then you also have the top tier, so maybe two or three fit into that role. You've got your solidified to average back, which probably the majority of these guys are going to fit into. We were looking at this just beforehand, and most of these are first and maybe second. There's a few third depth guys if they got some playing time last year, but for the most part, it's your one and two backs. So, are we going to have a lot of bad backs? Who knows? But I guess without further ado, Matt O'Day's favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings.
Hate to say it, but you have to put him elite, right? I mean,
yeah,
or top tier, yeah.
Yeah, I think Dalvin's elite. He's probably the closest to going into top tier, but
he's probably slightly below the CMCs of the world. Yeah,
I would agree with you. Yeah.
So is top tier then like the top two guys basically?
Yeah, we'll say like top 2 to 3. Like,
yeah, and we can always rearrange it at the end too. Like if we think something needs to be reshuffled, but I think Dalvin.
That's fair.
He's not bad in the pass game, but there's guys that are better than him. But he's just obviously a phenomenal runner when he gets the ball in his hands. But I think elite's a good spot for him.
The O-line doesn't do him any favors either.
Exactly.
Is that Tariq Cohen? Didn't he retire?
No, he's hurt.
He's hurt.
he's playing this year.
Retired out of nowhere.
I think Tariq.
Kyle Long?
No. He was like a receiver or a running back or something. Maybe I'm wrong.
On the Bears?
Yeah.
Our last out of nowhere retirement was Johnny Knox, but that's because he died.
Yeah, Cam.
Maybe it was Tariq Cohen clowning or something. But I remember seeing him a picture of him in a pool, and he's like, "I'm retiring" or something.
You remember?
I think Tariq Cohen probably fits in specialty back though.
Yeah.
More than third down back. Third down back for a lot of teams is going to be a power back.
So fast. Yeah.
And I think they put him in the slot. He's more of a specialty back.
It's a gadget.
Aaron Jones
doesn't help that. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Peter. Share what you need to say.
I was gonna say it doesn't help that we haven't seen Tariq with an established other back yet because he was hurt last year. So maybe he moves up if he's still on the PUP list.
Yeah, right? I don't think we see him until probably week 4 or 5. That's just my guess, since he hasn't participated in any preseason OTA stuff. He's been around, but I don't think he's doing a lot of work. He might be doing some, but it's he's not ramping up to play week.
He's probably just doing conditioning stuff and
they've got playoff Dame.
Getting his knee straight. True.
Moving to Aaron Jones, I'd put him in elite if you guys agree with that.
I would agree. I think he's definitely above a solidified back, especially the last 2 seasons. I think his
numbers are pretty crazy. Yeah.
Pretty
he's a little less he's not as good of a runner as Dalvin, but a lot better pass catcher.
Agree.
If my memory serves me correctly.
He can run up the gut, but he's not going to take contact. He's not.
Yeah, he's not Dalvin where he'll take someone's soul.
Yeah, it's more like he slithers through the middle of the line. But if he gets popped, he gets popped. He's not out to you guys. But yeah, he's elite, I think. And I think his contract probably shows that.
Next one is Devin Singletary.
He looked elite this weekend.
I'd say average.
I have a hot take. I think he's below average. He was not good last year in a good offense.
I kind of agree. I was going to say average. I would totally agree. I mean, I'd be down with below average too. I mean, he's just kind of meh. They also just rotated 3 backs in there, and
they were doing him and Zach Moss, and neither of them really established themselves. And like I just said, they had a really good pass attack last year, which should open up some opportunities for you to have some big gains on the ground. And it just never really happened. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a hot take. He's still young-ish. He's in his third, maybe this might be his 4th year in the league.
Yeah.
Below average, in my opinion.
James Conner, I have a hot take and say James Conner's below average too.
Yeah.
I don't think he's below average.
I think he's an
Really?
average.
I think he's average. I think he's average right
maybe
now.
At this point, he might be a third down back or something.
I think he looks like his legs, he moves so slow, and maybe that's just on TV, but like he's not a speed guy. He's not a run you over type guy. He's just kind of like a running back. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's average, but
I think he's average. I mean, he's on the Cardinals now, so who knows? Maybe he does a little bit better in that system.
I don't think he's too far away from being below average, though.
I would agree. No, I think he would be more towards the bottom end of average if we were to place them in that way. Latavius Murray, I think, is just the definition of a third down back.
Yeah.
Him and Alvin Kamara. I mean, it's just
he had one good year, and then he's just been like a good second back.
Yeah, wasn't he unreal on the Raiders for 1 year? Yeah.
Yeah, he had one unreal year where everyone's like, "Oh, he's back," and then
and with the Vikings, he had a couple.
That's right. Yeah, he was like
good years.
Back, yeah.
Yeah. He's a really good like RB3 in fantasy.
Yep.
He's because he always steals touchdowns from Dalvin, so it's sweet. Or from Alvin.
Alvin, yeah. Except for that week against the Vikings where he had 6 or 7 touchdowns and screwed my team. That's all right.
Looks like the next one is Swift. I'd probably put him as like below average.
I don't know. I think
hard to gauge.
He's young. He's young.
Last year, no. They honestly kind of used him as a specialty back, but then yet again, he did play better towards the end of the season. I don't know.
I think below average is fair right now from what he's done.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think we should be like just putting everyone up in here because, you know, like we said, these are going to be their first or second string guys.
Yeah.
We had fourth stringers then. You know, he definitely averaged here, but
last year on 114 carries, he had 541 yards, 4.6 yards a carry.
Pretty good.
46 catches on 57 targets, 350 yards, 10 total touchdowns.
Okay, that's like
actually.
That's average.
4.6 a carry your rookie year on a Detroit Lions team.
Yeah, for a team that's famously bad at running, that's pretty good.
If you want to go with J. Will is easily a third down back.
That was the exact spot I thought.
And he's a good one too.
Good. He's like Murray. He's like Murray, where
he'll always have a job. He'll always have a job.
Yep. Saquon, I think, is
elite. Yeah.
But just because he didn't play a lot, well, he did, but he got injured against the Bears. I think Aaron Jones is. I mean, we're not going to rank him in this way, but I think Saquon's still elite. Like, he's a great pass catcher.
I'd probably put Saquon over Aaron Jones, honestly, and I'm a Packers fan. So, like, I mean, just my yeah, he was hurt, but, I mean, they also ran him into the ground. That organization hilarious.
Zach Moss.
Wasn't he pretty bad?
I think he's with Singletary is below average.
I would
neither of them have proven.
I think most people would agree to say that their running back core last year was just below average. They weren't bad, but
I don't know if that was like scheme wise, like they just didn't use them right, or if they're both actually that bad. Because I had Singletary on my fantasy team. I remember he had a couple really good weeks, and then some weeks where he would get like 2 carries. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yep. Alvin Kamara. This is pretty
elite.
He's top tier back. Just
I would honestly say top tier. Yeah.
Yeah. No, just what he can do in the passing game.
All around.
All well too.
Tier.
Yeah, and I mean, what was impressive with him too is that the Saints weren't passing the ball a whole lot down the field towards the end of the year with Breeze's arm and then Michael Thomas's injury. And he was still able to put up huge numbers, even though defenses could even cheat, like staying underneath a little bit. But yeah, he's definitely top tier. I don't think there's any question.
Literally, like he's so good as like a speed back and a pass catcher, but you can literally also run him up the gut and he'll run through someone. It's actually
he's extremely hard to tackle too.
Like his build doesn't look like it, but then you see a video of him in the offseason like pulling a truck up a hill, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But, no,
the nose ring's perfect for him. He's a bull. He just plows people over.
I have the third pick.
He's very impressive.
League that I'm in, and I really want to take him, so I hope he's there.
I have the second round pick of mine, and I'm probably going to take him.
Oh, yeah.
All right, where are we thinking for Kenyon Drake?
I'd say he's a third down back. isn't he?
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he was probably
Frankly, so is Chase Edmonds. I mean, who's also
he
a
was
Cardinal.
right here, and
Yeah.
we toss him up there.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenyon Drake's now in the Raiders, and next year I believe it's just going to be Chase Edmonds and James Conner running backs for the Cardinals. But
Yeah.
I think both of them are at this point kind of third down backs.
Yeah, like they're serviceable.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of people picked Kenyon Drake a little bit higher last year, and if we're looking at it from a fantasy standpoint, and he disappointed, but I think third down back's fine. I don't think he's necessarily bad, but I think third down back's a good spot for him. So
Ingram is probably below average at this state. Sadly, he's just old. But
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I hate to
Not
say
huge
it.
then.
I almost think he's bad.
yeah,
He's not effective in the pass game anymore, and he's just slow. Peters, how many? I don't know if you still have the stats pulled up. How many yards per attempt did he have last year? In a very dynamic Ravens offense too.
Yeah, they like
number
weren't.
one in rushing.
He had 72 attempts for 299 yards, 4.2 per, which is 0.4 yards lower than his career average. He only had 2 touchdowns.
He's also going to be on the Texans this year too, and they've got a really weird running back room. So
it's Phillip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, and like
yep,
Bunch of misfits and castaways.
right.
it's so weird.
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, if
fair.
we're doing third and fourth stringers, like he's probably actually an average. But when we're pairing him up against the starting running backs in the league, if you were to have a draft, like if the GMs were to go down, he's at the bottom of the list at this point, like an older, slower power back.
He got hurt last year, right?
I think so. Yeah, and
Because he went in 2019 for the Ravens. He had 202 attempts for 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
And then he went to 72 and 300.
yeah.
I think I think that's fair. I think Zeke is elite. I think still.
I think he still is. It's just with the whole Dak thing last year, he's definitely towards the end of elite.
Yeah.
I think he still is. He can catch the ball, runs well.
He lost a lot of weight. He's in much better
yeah,
shape
he
than last
did.
year.
He did.
So
Daryl
see if that
Henderson
helps.
is probably a below.
Is he?
average back.
I would say below average. He's not bad, but James Conner and DeAndre Swift are better, and we put them in average.
Pollard is definition of a third down back.
Yep, 100%. He had some nice games last year when Zeke was injured, but
Good case for don't pay. Case for not paying running backs was the Tony
Yep.
Pollard coming in and actually being like really good. Like CMC is obviously one.
yeah, seems he's top still, even though he's injured a bit last year.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor, you know what? I think he's a solidified back, even though he's
I
young.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think
Yeah,
he showed a lot.
He played really well last year.
It took him a while. He went slow, but
Yeah. But he showed why obviously he wasn't their top pick, but what was his second round for the Colts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
second
so.
round. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that's a wasted pick in the second round for a guy like Taylor, who definitely, like you said, O'Day established himself towards the end of the year.
Kareem, is that Kareem? Yes.
Kareem.
Yeah.
He's probably a third down back right now, isn't he? Like you could almost say solidified back, but like
He's getting the usage of a third down back. I would put him
He's
at
like a specialty
average.
back, though. I don't know.
I would put him at average because
Don't
if
they
they
throw to
didn't
him
have Chubb,
too?
he would
Like-
be there.
Yeah.
don't they like exclusively throw to him too? Like doesn't he get a lot?
They
of
Yeah, and
they use him as that, but I think
Use
if
him
they
in
didn't have
pass game,
Chubb, he
too.
would be an average number 1 back.
That's fair. I think average is fair.
Yeah, it's like he's only there because he was suspended for a year, or whatever.
and
like,
then his
Chubb
team
was
is
normal.
elite.
Borderline elite. Yeah, he's elite.
I think Chubb's elite at this point.
yeah,
Probably got to give it to him. Yeah, and then Gio is probably average to solidified. And
Yeah, he's probably
no, that's Mixon. Sorry, that's Joe Mixon.
no. Mixon's 28.
Was
yeah,
that
Giovanni.
Bernard. Yeah.
God. Gio. Yeah,
What was the stat line last year?
it can't have been good. Let me look.
From in his career, yeah, he's definitely an average back, but I didn't watch a ton of Bengals football last year.
Oh, here we go. His last season. Let's see here.
Last year was 124 rushes for 416 yards.
3.4. Oh, yeah.
What was the
3.4
yards
per
per
attempt.
attempt?
3.4.
Yeah, 3 TDs.
That's what we call.
Yeah, that's
below
not
average.
good. Yeah. Derrick
Let's
Henry,
see.
I would say, is borderline top tier if you want to have that discussion.
I think for pure running backs, he's top tier.
I think
He's
it's
not.
top tier.
He's not like you're like. He's a game changer.
These are my
Like,
three
he is-
guys off the cuff.
And yeah, I think that's only fair.
Like Derrick Henry is the scariest running back in the league. I think.
Yep.
Like the other defense, those are the three guys that they like dread facing every week.
I mean,
Yep.
they also can literally stack the box, and you'll have the man advantage, and they'll still beat you. So
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah, you'll still peel off a 90-yard run with like half the team.
exactly.
And they lost Taylor Lewan last year too, and I think they had one more injury on their line. So their line still wasn't bad, but they did have some injuries, and he still put up 2,000 yards, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let me see his yards per.
insane. Yeah, I know. He probably had the most rushing shares in the league. Probably had close to 300 attempts, right?
Phil Lowe.
Oh, he definitely did. He was getting like 20 touches a game, more than that. Like,
Oh, they just bet him. Yeah.
why not?
He had 378 rushes for 2,000 yards, 5.4 per,
Yeah, that's
17
top tier.
touchdowns.
5.4 per. Like that's a first down every 2 downs. Like
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
The thing about him is, like, if he gets contacted, just him falling forward is 4 yards. So, like,
yeah.
he's so big. Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely top tier. I don't think
is that the Gus bus?
Gus Bus.
He's probably a third down back, maybe even below average.
Yeah, I mean, we'll put him in third down. That's just going to be his role. Devin White. I think Devin White's a specialty back, but he's better than Tariq Cohen.
James White?
Yeah.
James White. Sorry.
And then
Yeah.
he also
saying
will,
Devin
like,
White.
and then he'll have 2 primetime games where he puts up 35 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
He-
and then
I
everyone
love like
runs
2 the
together.
next game, right?
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson. I think he's
Average.
average.
Dude, I think he is a solidified back, even though it's been 1 year. I know it's a,
No, that's why I would keep him like his, I guess,
I think it's fair to say
the
'cause
highest I would go is solidified back, but
I
the
think it's
low
fair.
is
I think
average.
it's fair to go average just because it was 1 year. But I will say he's better than every guy in that average
Yeah.
tier by a long shot. And like wasn't he was insane when he played?
Yeah.
I know
He's
it's
had
just
weird
fantasy, but
foot injury though the last couple of months though. I think even from last year too. But it sounds like he'll still be good to go this year. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad with solidified back. They also have JD.
Same, yeah.
I know that going off fantasy is stupid, but
Yeah,
like, he's like a
170
borderline
carries
like top
for-
20 pick. Like he
he had 170 carries for 790 yards, 4.7
Yeah.
yards per carry.
And not to skip around a little bit, I'm trying to look. I don't know if they have him in the list here. J.D. McKissick is like the definition of your specialty back, and he was
Is that
really
26? Is
in the receiving game.
that Niners 26? Or
No,
was he
no,
on
he was
the?
on Washington.
Oh, he
football.
was on the football team last year.
Yeah, it was
Whoa.
Gibson.
That was McKinnon on the Niners,
who is that number 23 Ram right there?
That is Cam Akers, I believe.
and
Oh,
he's
isn't
out
he
for the
like-
year.
He's pretty
He's out
good
for the year,
as
isn't he?
solidified starter or
Um,
nah, probably average.
you haven't seen enough of him, right?
He's, isn't he hurt?
feeling
Isn't
is
he out?
probably solidified starter elite, but we just haven't seen enough.
Right, yeah.
AJ
AJ
Dillon
Dillon
is
is probably a third down back,
down
yeah.
back. Yeah,
I think it's kind of weird because I'm pretty sure, like, I think he's super freaking good, and I think he probably could have had a chance to, like, if he got the lion's share of touches and Aaron Jones didn't re-sign, I bet by the end of the year people be talking about him with, like, Jonathan Taylor, like, maybe up into even a higher range, but I think he's not going to get as many touches. But
yeah.
I saw him in person. He is massive, and, like, he moves really quickly for how big he is, too. It's pretty fun to watch.
He didn't go through with his bet with Boston Connor, so I'm out.
Oh, yeah, the Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, I'm out.
Is this Mixon? He's
Mixon, I
probably
think, is a solidified
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably there though, ahead of those two.
Yeah.
Jacobs,
Oklahoma has so many sneaky guys that are so good.
Jacobs probably right there too. I kind of see
Yeah.
the same range. Little different skill set. Like Jacobs is definitely more of a power back. Mixon's a little bit better in the receiving game, but
Who is that Panther right there? Is that Gus Edwards?
Davis.
Mike Davis. Mike Davis.
Over
Yeah.
there.
He's the starter in he's on a new team
For the
now.
Falcons.
He's
now.
on.
Yeah.
He didn't have a bad year last year. Like
No, he was really good.
usually
kinda slow.
he
Yeah.
sits in this third down back area. But I think he's average.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say Melvin Gordon. I think you got right there at 25. I think he's probably average right now.
Yeah. At some point he could have been here.
Oh yeah,
I-
like his Chargers days. Yeah. The running back shelf life is just sadly so short. Like
I think he could possibly be a solidified back.
I would say
it's not
average.
unreasonable. He's right on the edge.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with average though. Towards the
What about
Miles Sanders.
I've got the Miles Sanders takes. I
Solidified.
think he's a solidified back. But,
I would agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Dude,
I
he's
don't-
kind of nice. Like if you watch him, he's smooth. He looks so smart. Like I don't know, just the way he plays is really cool. Like
Yep.
maybe it's just like the Penn State running backs, but like he's really good.
Yeah. Okay. So for Najee, this is tough because obviously he's a rookie, and we do have a couple more rookies coming up here.
Average is probably fair.
Yeah, I think average. He's also kind of like he's more than like a specialty back though. He's really good in the receiving game. I think that's underrated for him. But yeah, we'll just put him in average. He'll be their week 1 starter.
He ran a 4.45 at 6'2", 230. Well, that's unofficial.
Field faster.
That's unofficial pro day, but I mean,
Yeah. Eckler. Ooh, this one is.
I think Eckler is elite, low key.
Yeah.
I think it's
For
fair.
the scat back types,
Yeah.
he's elite. He's one of the best
He's a
receivers out of the
he's-
backfield.
When he's healthy, he's a monster in like a PPR league too.
Yeah.
Like he'll get like 15 runs and then he'll get like 10 catches, and then
He'll get every dump off and then turn it in like a first down plus 5 yards.
No,
Yeah, he's gonna be going
He's
first
good.
round for a lot of drafts this year.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like
I would-
number 8. He's like the number 8 pick.
I
Okay.
think I took him with my second pick last year because he was great until he got hurt. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I think Elite's fine. Towards the end of Elite's probably fine.
Yep,
Not
I think
probably
so.
as skilled as a.
He's an elite specialty back, if that makes sense.
But
yeah,
for what
like
the
he's-
Chargers
yeah.
do, it's like normal for them.
outside of like CMC, and I think Kamara's maybe got the edge, but like he's like either 2 or 3, like as best receiving back. You
Yeah,
know?
I think you could say too. Yeah, I agree.
If he was just bigger and a better physical runner, he would be elite.
who is this one? Is this Naheem?
It's not Naheem Hines. I think he's a specialty back.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
fun.
He's towards the top of the specialty backs.
Yeah.
I put him ahead Tariq. He's like super shifty, really elusive, good hands, and he does some sick backflips and cartwheels.
Yeah.
So
We got Sermon. I don't know anything about Sermon, so if
Wait,
you guys got
Sermon?
any?
Has a
okay,
good smile.
he wasn't bad in college, but I always thought J.K. Dobbins was a little bit better. So going into the NFL, this might be a hot take. I think he's gonna be below average.
Is he a scat back or like what is he like?
No, he's more of like a. I think he's more of a.
He's a traditional, he's
Okay.
your
Yeah,
traditional
he's
running
like
back.
a hard runner. But I don't know. I was always way more impressed with, like I said, with J.K. Dobbins than I was with Trey Sermon. So
Okay.
I was actually a little bit surprised he got picked
We got
Fourth round?
Demont running in molasses.
solidified back at this point.
The slowest legs in the NFL.
Probably there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think solidified back is fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
has
he's a number 1 back. Like
Yeah.
he's
he's better than probably. I mean, Najee's unproven in the NFL, but I
he
would say
beat out
Demont over
Mike
anything
Davis
else,
for the
so.
job. So
Do I think Demont will be out of the league in 3 years? Yes, but I think he's a solidified back now.
That's
you're
my-
gonna go
that's my
like
own
break his
opinion.
leg and like you're gonna go like cut his leg off just to make sure you win that bet.
This is, Miles.
Oh, is this,
Gaskin.
who is this?
I think,
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, he was a
Gaskin.
tank last year in fantasy. Yeah.
I think it's Miles Gaskin.
No, it is. It's like they have like one running back who's actually insane, and it's him. Yeah,
He's a cheaper Eckler.
dude, I think you can put him at like average to like.
He's
Oh, dude, no, he was. Go look up his stats. I'm pretty sure he was insane last year. Like, Peters.
I would say
Good
Just
games.
back
Those are
end
good
of
games.
Here,
say back end of solidified or top of average.
Yeah.
I misspelled Miles.
Is he going to be their starting running back this year?
Dude, yeah, he had one. So he had 142 attempts for 500 yards. Okay, maybe he wasn't as good. Wasn't as good as I thought. It looks like he was.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a couple monster games, but then
maybe that was it. It looks like he caught 41 passes for 388 for an average of 9.5 per target. That's pretty good.
Unexpected ad here. Sorry about that, folks.
He only played in 10 games.
The Walgreens ad.
In 10 games, he had 584 yards, 4.1.
Oh, that was only 10 games. Okay, yeah. But I think
and then in
2019,
he didn't play a lot either. He just hasn't played a lot.
But I think he had like a stretch of games where it was like, oh my God, Myles Gaskin put up a ton. Yeah.
Let me look at the per game.
Yeah, that good game against the Raiders last year. I remember that.
And the next one we've got is Rojo, it looks like.
Rojo. I think Rojo.
He's probably average, bottom of average, maybe even
I would say
average.
mid-tier average, because he was splitting with Leonard.
And
he was good.
Leonard's not good either. I mean,
he won me a couple games in fantasy.
Solidified back after last year.
Oh, dude, James Robinson is great. Yeah,
probably there.
Welcome, great.
Especially now. Get him early.
True, Etienne's foot, right? He's done.
Special
Etienne injured.
Again.
And it looks like we've got a couple. So we've got 25 on the Colts.
Marlon Mack.
Okay, he's probably like below average, honestly, right? Or
he's not a bad running back. He was just injured last year. We'll put him in average. I think he's average.
And then we've got the North Carolina rookie. I don't even know what team he went to.
This one was
Michael Carter. Or was that his name?
Yeah.
I thought Michael Carter was 25. Peters, can we confirm this again? I thought we had this down. Shame on us.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Michael Carter is number 8.
While we're looking this up, this episode is sponsored by Chewy.
Michael Carter is number 8. Yes. Confirmed, number 8. Chewy.
Our first ad. We appreciate Quaker Oats in sponsoring this episode of the Bear Tag Podcast.
Optum ED treatment.
So that is Michael Carter. Yeah.
This one's Michael Carter. So Michael Carter is I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to be specialty backs. I feel like both of them, maybe.
For now. Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. I mean,
it's hard to say. I don't think they're going to be below average, but
they were both monsters on a really good offense. So I feel like you could have thrown any running back out there.
I'm more interested in how a couple of these here are going to turn out. I think J.K. Dobbins is average.
Yep.
As is that Chris Carson right there?
Yeah.
I think Chris Carson.
That's
Rashad Penny.
Sorry,
yeah,
Carson probably a solidified starter though, right? He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's remember that the Seahawks spent their first round pick on Rashad Penny.
Was he from Texas Tech or something like that? Or like where?
No, he was San Diego State.
Okay.
He was really good.
He was really good in college.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
and then Carson's a solidified back. Yep.
Probably the top is solidified. When healthy, he's probably top.
Honestly, yeah, he puts up some great numbers for fantasy.
I feel like Penny he hasn't been bad. He's been hurt the entire time.
We got a 6-minute warning here.
I don't know. I just think if you're a first, like if they take
it's like
your expectations
bad for
so much higher than a guy that's taken in like the 6th or the 7th round.
And is this Mostert right here?
Ooh, yeah, no.
Raheem Mostert.
Average to maybe solidified back?
Yeah, it's hard with the Shanahan offense to really
like who's actually good.
Yeah. I think he's definitely average, but maybe on another team. I mean, he was before he got onto the 49ers, though, he was bouncing around. He was on the Bears special team.
Really?
Like a couple of games, then got cut. So I think a guy like him, good runner, like really good in the Shanahan offense, but I think a lot of guys are.
Okay.
We'll see if he'll be able to do it twice.
Right.
Yeah.
And then going back to Penny really quickly, in 27 games, he has 161 rushes for 823 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Whoa.
5.1 per. But in 27 games, he only has 161 rushes.
All right.
That's not good.
So
it's not good.
I would say despite his performance in the Super Bowl, is that Fournette?
This is playoff Lenny.
Dude, he's bad or below average at least. I know everyone loved him in the do you just agree with that?
Back. I don't know, but I wouldn't.
I'd say third down back. Because last year was weird for him. He had a weird year last year.
I think it was much more of the Bucs O-line and less Leonard Fournette is actually good. Like, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I think Madison probably is like here as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's not bad. He's a hard runner.
Is that David Johnson right there?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Dude, he's bad.
Just because the contract, he's bad.
It looks
the
like
contract is so bad.
Dude, it looked like
trade.
He runs like he got kneecapped by like a lead pipe. Like literally, like he looks like he had 2 broken knees, and he's like now he's coming back.
I think he literally did.
Yeah,
I feel like
Damian Harris is probably below average.
Yeah, specialty back or below average. I'm comfortable with either.
They have Sony Michel, who was kind of high on coming out of that draft, but he just hasn't played that well the past few years.
Right.
And they have like 3 running backs now for a reason. So
yeah. Is that CEH? I think he's average.
Yeah, he's average.
I wouldn't put him at solidified because didn't they bring in a couple guys to initially? They got Bell and he didn't play, but they brought him in.
He also got kind of banged up towards the end of the year too, so you have to take out the grants. He wasn't even fully healthy.
I think
80% for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think he's going to have a really big jump this year.
Oh, he will. Their O-line's a lot better too. So
if he can stay healthy, he can he has some CMC and Alvin in him. In a couple years, he could be elite.
Is this Tevin Coleman? Who is this?
This is Tevin Coleman, the final guy on the board.
Isn't he a specialty back to borderline third down, probably?
Yeah, he's quick. He's got some.
He's third down.
But I would say third down specialty. But yeah,
because he would get some decent carries. He wasn't like the only throw to him.
He's been injured a ton in his career, so it's.
And it's the whole Shanahan where just one day he randomly chooses a back to take 20 carries. Then he gets 3 carries the next 3 weeks.
On this list, another Shanahan back who literally never played and collected a full $25 million contract from them.
Who?
And then
Jerick McKinnon, they signed him to a big deal. He tore his ACL the first camp, and then he came back and then he tore something else. And I think he had one decent season that he played with them on a 4-year contract, and he got all his money, but he probably only played probably 15 games.
He played a little bit last year. I actually had to start him for one of my games, and he was mostly just on special teams, return
injury play.
And he had a couple of runs, and that was really it. So
last year he played in 16 games with 81 rushes for 319 yards.
So 3 per
And his best season was 570 yards
with the Vikings, right?
Yeah, Vikings.
Yeah. No, his career. It's missing 18 and 19.
Yeah, he
didn't play either of those.
He just didn't play. Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, so here's the list.
This is a good list. I like it.
I think there was probably not a bunch of controversial. I think for running backs, it's a little bit easier to evaluate.
For sure.
A little bit more objective. Whereas with receivers and quarterbacks, there's some intangibles that they do. Unless a running back's a great blocker, which there's no one known for being a great blocker. Some guys are better than others. It's definitely more of an objective position and a little bit easier to evaluate than some of those other positions. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Bear Pack Podcast, presented by Quaker and Chewy granola bars.
And Optum ED treatment
for erectile dysfunction. Have a good one.
Just for Yoda.